You've been told your whole life to fight for what you want. Don't give up. Be patient. Keep showing up. And somewhere along the way, that advice started costing you everything. Because the men women respect most, they don't fight to stay. They walk away. And what happens next is the part nobody is talking about. Picture this. You're 3 months in. She's been running hot and cold. Some days she's all in. Other days you can feel her drifting. So you do what most men do. You try harder. You show up more. You make yourself more available, more accommodating, more patient. And it doesn't work. It never works. Here's what no one is telling you. The more you scramble to hold something together, the more you signal that you don't believe it will hold on its own. And she feels that. Not because she's cruel, because she's human. Anxiety is not attractive. Desperation is not devotion. And a man who cannot walk away from the wrong thing cannot be trusted to hold on to the right one. Here's where this gets dangerous. Because most men think the walk away is a tactic. Something you do to flip the script, to make her chase, to spark the interest back. That's not what this is. The walk-away standard isn't a move. It's a mirror of what you actually believe about yourself. And today, I'm going to show you the 4 things high-value men understand about walking away that most men never learn until it's too late. Most men don't know when to walk away because they've never decided what they're actually walking towards, so they stay. Not because things are good, but because leaving feels like losing. This is the first thing high-value men understand. Walking away is not a reaction to her behavior. It is a response to your standards. Think about the last time something felt off. She canceled. She went cold. She kept you in a holding pattern. And you waited. Not because she earned the wait, but because you hadn't decided what you weren't willing to accept. A man without clarity doesn't walk away. He drifts. And a man who drifts cannot be a man who leads. But clarity is only the beginning. The second layer runs even deeper. There is something hardwired into human psychology that most men have never been taught. Perceived value rises when availability decreases. This isn't a game. It is not manipulation. It is how the human brain assigns worth to things, to opportunities, to people. Ask yourself this honestly. Have you ever wanted something more the moment you thought you might lose it? She has. Research in behavioral psychology confirms what men who live this already know: scarcity drives desire. Not artificial scarcity. Not manufactured mystery, but the real, undeniable signal of a man whose presence is not guaranteed. When you make yourself endlessly available, when nothing you do ever has a cost, you train her brain to stop valuing what you give. The man who can walk away sends a signal her nervous system cannot ignore. This one has options. This one has standards. This one is not waiting for my approval. And this is exactly why it keeps backfiring when you don't. Let me show you what this looks like in real life. She posts a story at midnight. You've been on read for 4 hours, and now you're sitting there deciding whether to send a follow-up, wondering if you said something wrong, scrolling back through the conversation for clues. That right there, that is the approval trap. The moment your peace becomes conditional on her response, you have handed the wheel of your inner life to someone else. And she can feel it. Most men miss this completely. She doesn't want to drive. She wants a man who is already going somewhere, who doesn't need her to confirm where he stands, who doesn't stare at his phone waiting for permission to feel okay. The walk-away standard says, "My peace is mine. My worth does not live in your inbox. And if this isn't working, I can leave without it destroying me." And that kind of groundedness is rarer than you think. And now here's the part that changes everything. The man who is genuinely willing to walk away doesn't have to. I want you to sit with that for a second. Not as a concept, as a lived reality. Here's the reversal nobody prepares you for. When a woman senses that your well-being is not hostage to her choices, something shifts. Not because she's playing a game, because you've stopped playing one. A man who needs her to stay is exhausting. Not because she's cruel, but because that kind of need puts weight on her that love was never designed to carry. The man who can walk away is not cold. He is free. And free men are magnetic. Because here's what high-value men actually understand. The walk-away standard is not something you do when things go wrong. It is how you enter every relationship, from the first conversation to the last. You hold yourself to a standard. You communicate clearly. No games, no subtext, no half-truths. And when something costs you your peace, your values, or your self-respect, you leave. Not in anger, not with a speech, with dignity. That is the secret. Not a tactic, not a power move. Character. You were raised to fight for love, to prove you're worth it, to stay when it gets hard. And that instinct is not wrong. But there is a line between fighting for something real and fighting to make something work that was never right for you. A man of character does not hold on out of fear. He does not stay because leaving feels like failure. He does not exhaust himself performing devotion in hopes that someday she'll finally decide he's enough. This is the reversal. Stop asking, how do I make her stay? Start asking, what do I actually stand for? Because when you become a man with real standards, when your peace belongs to you, the right woman doesn't need to be chased. She shows up, and she stays. Not because you convinced her, but because you are worth staying for. Most men are going to watch this and go right back to waiting. Waiting for a text, waiting for a sign, waiting for permission. But not you. If you're done chasing what was never yours to chase, and ready to become a man who walks in peace and leaves in dignity, drop a comment right now. I am unshaken. Let the community see who is actually doing the work. Subscribe if you're building something real from the inside out. And if you know a brother who's holding on too long, send him this. Today, stay strong, stay grounded, keep building. I'll see you in the next one.